Brian, I wanted to start with you. I'm JJ Duncan with Zimbio.com, and first off, what made you want to adapt the book Thief?
It was just an incredible story of human spirit, really, and it was set at a time where it was very difficult and dark times in Nazi Germany, and it was really about ordinary people, you know, and how they dealt with that, and how they can overcome the very worst that life has to throw at them if they have enough belief and enough spirit. And it's the story about somebody's life being changed through books and through being able to adopt a new outlook, a new vision for the way that the world should be and for the way their character evolves.
One of the things for me that I notice watching the movie, and I think a lot of people feel emotionally connected to this when they're watching it, is the family aspect. It's such a family movie. And I wonder if any of you could talk about the exercises maybe that you went through in bonding as a family that come through on screen.
That came about, I suppose, well, you had a shortish rehearsal period, but the reality was much better when we first got onto the set. In the kitchen is where we started, which was a really great, I don't know if that was your master plan, but...
It was snowing at the time, I think.
But we were in the kitchen for a very long time, and that is where we made a lot of key discoveries, you know. And Brian said, feel free to move furniture and make this house a genuine place. And how does a new foster child fit into that history? You know, where do you sit at the head of the table? What is Hans's favorite chair near the radio? You know, and you can map out a kind of domestic
It feels
history.
like a home when you're watching it. And like there's the coffee grinder, there are the patterns on the walls, there's the table, there's the base. It feels like a home. How did you bring that across in the film to make it feel like a home for the audience watching it? Well, is that a real house? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. You know, we spent many weeks travelling from the south to the north of Germany trying to find the exact right town, and it just really didn't exist. And plus, we needed to destroy this town at the end of it. So you know that made it. So the decision was made to build the street and to build the house and to build the interior of the house. And really, it was just, you know, I grew up in a similar sort of area way back when I was a child in Liverpool, and so that sort of homeliness feel was just something the designer and I talked about and worked on, but also it had to be something that the actors felt part of and felt that they could sort of, you know, move things around if need be, because it was going to be their home. And we all inhabit a space in different ways, don't we? We have a favourite chair, or you know, we sit at a different table or a different time of day or whatever. And so we just worked as organically as possible with the actors to make their sort of characters, find out where their characters would be.
And how did you find Sophie for this role?
After a very, very long search, we began searching initially in England well over a year ago, and then spread that out to Germany and to Austria and Switzerland and then to Scandinavia and basically, and then continued until eventually, you know, we'd spread the net pretty much worldwide, and we'd probably seen about 1,000 people. And Sophie's self-tape come in, and there was just something there that, you know, that incredible mixture of naivety and vulnerability, but feistiness and spirit. You know, a lot of the girls that auditioned fell into one camp or the other, and Sophie just encompassed all of those things in one package. And so, you know, we more or less knew straight away that she was going to be the one.
And what's that like transitioning into film? What's this experience been like? This is a pretty big experience for you.
Well, I was a bit stressed at the beginning because playing with Geoffrey and Emily, they're such great and big actors. I was scared they would find I'm really bad, and I was scared that if I make them, like, if I'm not a good actress, then the movie would be bad. So I was like...
It's difficult.
Yeah, I had to be good, but they were so nice, and, I mean, Brian would let me do how I think Liesl is, and I could totally be myself, and if ever I had any questions, he said, feel free, you could try some different things, and when we were not shooting, we would have a lot of fun. So in these really hard scenes, when we were done, we would always, me and Geoffrey would always laugh and make these silly things. So at the end of the day, I wasn't going back at my hotel like depressed, but with a lot of joy, and every day was really...
Did you feel a lot of nerves going into that then?
No, because after a week, it was like just having fun. It was not going to work. It was going and play with my friends or going and acting, but it's not working for me. It's really having fun and playing. So I wasn't stressed, and I mean, nobody pressured me. Like Brian wasn't going like, you have to nail this part. So it was just really fun going there.
I wonder, was it strange being surrounded by so much Nazi paraphernalia on the set? It's a little, when you're watching the movie, it almost feels uncomfortable seeing all of it. What's that like on set?
Yeah, it was. You know, the first time we walked into the square, particularly where we did the book burning, it made one feel very uneasy, I think, because, you know, that's an iconic image that, you know, is banned in Germany anyway, and the fact that we, you know, putting this symbol of hatred up all over parts of Germany, and how that would affect the crew and the people, it was really quite uncomfortable. I have to say, you know, it's not something that we felt easy with, and there's a strange sort of feeling that comes along with it, that you know it's so evil, but it's such an iconic image. Everybody knows what it stands for, and so, you know, just on a normal level, shooting in public places, it made one feel slightly uneasy that we were reminding a lot of ordinary German people of what their past was. But also, I think, you know, it must have created quite an atmosphere for the actors, because it gives some sort of sense of the world that they lived in at that time and how they had to conform to that symbol.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. I'm running over time, but it was really good to speak with you all, and I wish you all the luck with the movie.
Thank you.
Thanks.